Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
This game is a multi-million-dollar buy-in. How much you say?
About 50 so
Get
far.
50 more.
I'm going to
Go get it done now.
It's a turning point in my life. 4 years are over and it's the beginning of real life.
So we're about a half an hour late to meet with the president of the bank, which is not a person that likes to wait very long.
Let me ask you familiar with the name SanDisk? Maybe you own some of their product?
We have so many guys in SanDisk. Should it not work out, we wouldn't be back to square zero, but we'd be darn close.
Well, my future basically rests in the hands of SanDisk.
I'd love an opportunity.
My name is Larry Allentoff. I am a frozen, concentrated orange juice trader. I have been a trader for 18 years. We have a large group down here on the New York Board of Trade. We have traders in silver, in gold, in sugar, and in coffee.
That was straddled in 65. You have the 65-80 call spread, 15 points wide. It's tight.
Producers of the actual commodity come down here to the New York Board of Trade to try to sell their produce before it's actually come out of the ground. And we're trading the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but commodities exist to give price protection today.
It takes a certain personality to thrive and make a living down here.
Well, I think you have to be slightly nuts to work down here.
It's a high match game of chess mixed with poker.
Most people who come here lose their money and go away.
We know that some producers are holding the aces.
So I sold 350s.
Got you.
So I'll take it as a day trade. If they come in, I'll hit them.
This game is a multi-million-dollar buy-in. So the stakes are higher than in any stakes in Vegas or anywhere else right now in this pit.
I represent an investment banking firm.
Just jot down the tickets.
Let me ask you a quick question. How much revenue do you think YouTube did last year? My name's Lance Cooley from Austin, Texas. Moved up here about 3.5 years ago. Came down here, had an interview, and hired me on the spot.
No, you're miles off. Zero. Big fat goose egg. They didn't make any money.
If you recall, you had a conversation with a member of my staff a while back, and my name's James Ayers. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I was always into finance. I moved up here, finally found an opening. It's an entry-level position. It's a training program. It's a stockbroker. Very, very rigorous process. You're making 400 phone calls and maybe talking to 5 guys that are interested in doing business. Not even doing business, even speaking with you.
Not a sales call, Mark. Nothing to recommend.
Please don't misconstrue my enthusiasm as any type of sales pressure.
I'd love an opportunity.
The failure rate and the negativity of that position is so high that a lot of people quit on the spot.
Turnover rate in this business, especially at a company like this, is like the turnover rate at a strip club. It really is. I mean, you see people in and out of this door every single day. People have dreams of grandeur when they come to Wall Street and they step into a firm. They think they're making $100,000 their first month. It doesn't happen at all.
We're on the same page now, right?
Our guys, the guys who prospect for Jimmy and myself every single day, they get a list or a lead card. Has a gentleman's name, has a position at the company, has a company name, a business address, and a phone number. I mean, that's basically all you need. He will call these guys day in and day out, try to get them on the phone and garner some interest out of them. Then it's actually a qualified lead. It's better be better than the last stack, dude. They're always terrible. and then we give them a call.
The reason I'm giving you a call this afternoon, company by the name of SanDisk Corporation.
Basically what I try to do is just paint a pretty picture with the story.
Over the next couple months, we're creating a tremendous demand for flash-based memory. Can you see that? Am I painting a clear picture here? I know there's gonna be certain guys that kind of like what I do, and they like the hard sell, and they like to be pressed like that. I'll send you enough information to wallpaper your entire mansion. Let me just finish my last point here. And there's guys that love Jimmy, where they like the soft sell, they like to be spoken to the right way.
We'll buy some here and see what happens.
All I ask in return is, Lynn, when I'm right, and I do mean dead on the money right, next time out when I've garnered your admiration.
There's no better feeling than getting a guy on the phone that you really don't know, forcing some stock down his throat, and he ends up buying it.
You do a joint with your wife.
That's what gets me going every day.
I like to put the details so we feel more comfortable in the future.
I made a commitment to get back to you one time.
I'm not asking to buy anything, you put the checkbook away.
You know, if I felt I had a truly exceptional idea that came across my desk,
I don't need a year. I don't want to get married to the stock.
Man, I didn't come up to Wall Street or New York for the weather, that's for damn sure. I came up here for one reason, that's to make a lot of money, more money I could ever make back home. Get rich, or at least die trying.
My name is Leticia Vaval. I'm 21 years old. I'm about to graduate from NYU Stern, and I have an important job interview this morning at a trading firm on Wall Street called SMB Capital. It's a turning point in my life. 4 years are over, and it's the beginning of the real life. I'm going to try to make it as a day trader, but I'm a little nervous because I've never done anything like that before. I've had interviews in other industries and other fields, which haven't been easy, but I think this is going to be the hardest one I've had so far. This is on a different level. I hope I'm prepared for it. From what I understand, SMB is a very competitive place to work. They do not accept a lot of new candidates.
SMB is a trading desk, and part of what we do is we train new traders. You're going to be long above and short below.
But our primary focus is trading the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange stock markets intraday.
It's a performance-based job. It's not for everybody. You have to perform here.
We're very selective in who we invite to join our desk. Our ability to make money from them is solely dependent on their success.
There's very few people who actually have the characteristics that you need as a trader. What we do here is we find out if you can be one of us.
I'm 28 years old. I think I'm one of the youngest fund managers on Wall Street. I'm a co-founder and managing partner of Aegis Capital Group. We are a private equity firm that manages private equity and venture capital funds. We invest into small businesses. Today I have a meeting set up with a new bank in Southport, Connecticut. I'm going up there to see if this really is a good investment opportunity for us and our fund. So I'm about a half an hour late to meet with the president of the bank, which is not a person that likes to wait very long. One of the things that makes me very unique on Wall Street is that I took an entrepreneurial risk to start my own private equity firm at the age 26. Now I have a fund at 28 years old where we have north of $100 million under management.
Brett, how are you?
Steven, how are you?
Yeah,
Good
nice
to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Pleasure.
Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
Kicking them off. What? Holy how much you
About 50 so
Get
far.
50 more.
I'm going to
Go get it done now.
Do you consider yourself to be resilient?
What does that mean? Okay. When I walked into the trading floor, I was really relieved because it was a lot less corporate than what I expected. People were young. I always get nervous before interviews, It's kind of one of my weaknesses. I stress out because I'm put on the spot. The first person I met at the interview was Ray Holland. He's the recruiting partner.
Give me an example of something in your life where you showed discipline.
I interned for 2 summers in a row. I get involved 100%. I really put all of myself into a project. I'm guessing he must have liked me because he sent in G-Man, who is the senior trader. And that's when I got really nervous because G-Man stared at my resume for what seemed like 10 minutes.
What are you looking for?
And I'm thinking he must have thought I was a little too green for the job.
A lot of people actually want to begin to trade, but they don't really realize how mentally and how challenging this actually is to begin to trade. What we definitely don't want is, invest all that time and then haven't seen the person being like, I'm going to give up after 3 months.
And now I have to meet with the 2 senior partners. I'm just hoping that it goes a little bit better and that they like me. Leticia, Milan.
We are very much like a European-style bank. We don't have tellers. We come in and you sit down with an executive officer.
As far as what my business is, I think it's a very exciting business. You have the opportunity to work with very passionate small business owners.
That's our whole focus, is really to offer a private banking solution here in Fairfield County.
It's really about working with people to help make their dreams come true.
Our vision is to grow this bank beyond just the town of Southport. We look at ourselves as a regional bank. We hope to expand this footprint of this franchise from Greenwich, Connecticut, right up to Stonington, Rhode Island.
At the end of the day, I was drilling the president on terms and doing a whole bunch of due diligence and things that are not quite so pleasant. So what's your ability going to be like to raise capital? What's your confidence in that?
Well, that's a challenge for most new banks.
You have how many years of combined experience?
We actually have 4 employees right now.
Your data here suggests that we have a 27.5% return. Now, on the risk profile, I think the default rate of banks has been approximately 1/4%. Well, Stephen, thank you again for your time. I appreciate it and look forward to doing business with you. I'm pretty happy with what I wanted to accomplish today, with the capacity of the management team, with the further understanding I have of the board of directors and how they all fit together. So I think there's a really good chance that I'll end up investing in the bank.
One of the things that are cool with the technology is that I've got traders in all these other pits. They're IMing me right now, nobody knows this, giving me ideas of where their markets are. So I could get in there and just tell them what to do, even though if I ran in there and they saw that, it would be harder for them to do it. It's a beautiful thing. So right now, Brian in Coffee is just IM me. What do you think of this trade? So I'm gonna tell him what I think of the trade and he can tell me right away what he's done. It's a great way to help manage risk for having other traders around the floor. Picking them off. What? Holy. We have a game plan. We're working on call spreads. I want to see if this trader's accomplished what he was set out to accomplish. Hey, Ryan! Get over here. What's going on?
Coffee just rallied 150 points.
What are you doing?
I'm long game. I sold out futures at the high. We're starting to come up right here.
Getting into the call spreads?
Yes.
How much is it?
About 50 so
get
far.
Get 50 more.
I'm going to
go get it done now.
So what's July 110?
Call spread is we're going to buy one call, sell another call. We can buy coffee at 110 and we could sell it out at 115 in this case.
Let me ask you, you familiar with the name SanDisk? Maybe you own some of their products?
In 2006, last year, Ken, 100 million mobile phones were produced that used flash memory.
We concentrate on about 5 to 6 ideas a year, building one prominent position. We roll up our sleeves. We do a hell of a lot of homework on these companies. And then once we feel like we've got the green light, we should invest in it, we get everyone on the phone, as many people as you possibly can.
Made a commitment to get you back on the phone one more time, share one of our recommendations here in the market.
If you can portray through the phone, I'm looking to make you a hell of a lot of money. and I'm not going to stop until I do it.
Mitch, music's 2 years ago. Everybody's got it. You know what everybody wants? Video on their cell phone. Now, if you know anything about memory, which it sounds like you do, you know that a video clip takes 10 times the amount of memory as a single piece of music, okay? Thus, again, over the next couple months, when these new handsets coming out, we're creating a tremendous market, a huge demand for flash-based memory. Can you see this?
Thus, we've just created this tremendous demand for more flash memory going forward. And again, Ken, who's the #1 producer of flash memory cards? Exactly.
We're putting these guys into great companies that we invest in ourselves. We put family members in. This is probably our make or break year due to the fact that we have so many guys in SanDisk. Should it not work out, we wouldn't be back to square zero, but we'd be darn close.
Everybody who we've talked to on the phone knows we love this company. So I can't call a guy back 2-3 months from now and say, I told you so if the stock doesn't work out.
Last year, company did $3.2 billion in revenues. This year, they forecast to do $5 billion. And Mitch, by the year 2010, company's got a strategy in place to do $10 in earnings per share and $10 billion in revenues.
After we're this adamant about one position, if we're wrong, there's a very minimal chance these guys are ever going to listen to us again.
All right, I've been stepping in to large blocks of this stock across the board, every single one of my clients, A through Z.
So if SanDisk doesn't work out, we have a big-time reevaluation on our hands.
The street was about 0.5% better than that.
They would change my entire career if it didn't work out. We'll have to read the report to see what happened, but trading down is all that really matters. So.
I think over the next 12 months, we're going to see exactly where we're at. Right? If the stock hasn't done anything by then, we're going to be in trouble. Well, my future basically rests in the hands of SanDisk.
That number's out now.
Yeah, definitely is.
I think I get even more nervous at interviews just because I have this complex about the way I speak English, just because it's my second language.
Trading is very difficult. You will lose money every once in a while, okay? Can you get back up and start over again?
I think so. I mean, I understand you have to emotionally detach yourself and not take it personally. I think I have that capacity to detach myself and, just realize it's not the end of the world. And
yeah, the picture we draw is you should consider yourself an unemotional robot, okay?
Basically, you're not going to sit down and the market is not going to hand you money.
Of course.
It takes time to learn how to trade. 95% of people who start as traders, they'll lose money at first. And that's why we ask you about perseverance and are you mentally tough and can you survive that type of pressure?
Even though people can't pick up an accent when I speak English, I do feel more comfortable speaking French.
Do you consider yourself to be resilient?
What does that mean? I was a little bit worried that it made me look bad asking about the meaning of a word that everyone more or less should know. People do tend to forget I'm French and it's not my first language and I wasn't raised in American school, so it just makes it a little bit harder on me.
Mike and I will sit down and we'll discuss your candidacy.
Okay.
And we may have some follow-up questions for you. We may ask you to come back, and that's usually how the process goes.
I just got out of the interview with SME Capital. It's over. It was nerve-wracking, but I don't know. I like them. Hopefully they like me. I should get an answer from them in a couple of days, they said. Hopefully it'll be good news. Right now I just have to get to graduation. I am running late.
Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
At the end of the hurricane season, you have the famous USDA crop report. We know that's coming out, and we're putting on our positions now, getting ready for that.
I'm nervous. I mean, there's so many different things that could happen now.
What do you mean you don't understand my job?
I don't understand. I don't know what stocks are.
It's legalized gambling. That's all you need to know.
I'd say it was a fairly quiet day in here. I still traded, 300 options today at 15,000, gallons each option. A day like today, you buy a couple lots, you offer them back out, you try to scalp around your position, little day trading, and you come back tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow, they ring the bell, and there's thousands of options trading. One of the most important things down here is that if the size isn't there, you gotta wait. There's no reason to show our hand. What you wanna do is trade today for the future. At the end of the season, the end of the hurricane season, you have the famous USDA crop report. We know that's coming out, and we're putting on our positions now, getting ready for that, anticipating that. That's good. This formation is up. Has anything changed in terms of your position management?
We opened up unchanged.
Right.
We basically later in the day rallied about 150 points and sold back off at the end of the day.
Okay.
I was hoping for a continuation of the sell-off to buy them back. Unfortunately, we didn't.
Did we make money today?
We made money today.
Welcome to your graduation day.
So today's my graduation. I'm graduating from NYU Stern with all my friends. And in a couple hours, I'll be an NYU alumni. Ça marche pas, bien. I'm really thankful for my parents. I mean, they paid for my exorbitant tuition here for the past 4 years. They supported me. I'm really happy that they're here today. I think they're proud.
No, he can see you over there.
I mean, I think they're happy to see what all their efforts and support led to.
She's a good girl and she worked very hard. She partied a lot also. But she got very good grades, so that's the best.
I'm nervous. I mean, there's so many different things that could happen now. It's an exciting time. I came to Stern to study finance, and now working on Wall Street is really a way to prove to myself that I could do it, I can be successful.
We wish you good luck and Godspeed.
I'm really going to prove to myself that I can make it on Wall Street.
I love you.
Pourquoi? J'ai un micro.
I grew up in a Canadian middle-class family. My dad was a high school teacher. My mother passed away of cancer when I was little. My mother's death affected me in a number of ways. One, it made me very independent. Starting my own private equity fund after working on Wall Street for a few years is a very independent thing to be doing. It also made me realize that life can be very short. You never know how long you're going to live, which is why a lot of things I do with my free time are very charity focused on raising money for cancer research. It's important to be in New York within the financial capital of the world so that you can develop the relationships with the top of the top from the best schools in the world, the best financial institutions in the world. You just have so much mind power here of people that can really help propel you to the top. It's been almost a 3-hour drive for us getting back here. We got an early morning flight to Montreal. So I have to get up at about 4 in the morning, and I've got probably a couple hours of work to do. So it's going to be another sleepless night in New York. Glad I'm doing this while I'm young.
Tonight, me and Jimmy are actually going out to eat with our girlfriends. It's a good time always when we go out and have some drinks and share stories.
Saying this is at 70, we'll take you all to the French Polynesians, maybe.
Call it 100. Jimmy and his girlfriend, they came up here from Florida. We came up here from Texas. A lot of similar interests. Our girlfriends get along well.
Yeah, what do you guys do?
I don't understand it at all.
What do you mean you don't understand my job?
I don't understand. I don't know what stocks are. I don't know where they go and you buy and you sell. Like it's like cyber world. I have no idea what that means.
Buy low, sell high. You know that, right?
Prada shoes, you buy them from a store, you own them. Stock, I can't physically see stock. I don't know what that is.
It's legalized gambling. That's all you need to know.
Excellent.
Everybody we call on the phone is a guy. A guy's gonna do business with a guy. That's just how we are.
You never called women to like get...
called a woman in my entire life. Typically, your CEOs, the brass of the companies, the top executives are males, for the most part. The broker's got to get on the phone. He's got to be another man, an authoritarian figure. He's got to tell him what to do. That's what they like. They like some dude that's in power, kind of put them in their place, tell them, this is what we're doing, this is where your money's going, I'm running the show here, and that's it.
Well, why don't you want to try to like convince a woman, like kind of use your moves to try to get her to invest? You never thought to just give it a shot? Maybe you'd be surprised.
Maybe you should be a broker. Apparently.
You two just don't know anything about women. Amen.
I have a lot of things about finance interviews.
Sandy, we need some orders here. Got cameras, and hopefully it involves selling.
Money! I got a couple of stewardesses over at the Regal Beagle.
Is it upside?
That one's upside down. That one's upside down.
Yeah, I'm really smart.